Now, when you trained for the Mayweather fight, first of all, how much time did you have to prepare for that fight?
10 weeks to the day.
That doesn't seem like a lot.
No. I remember just getting the message.
Do you think that was calculated on Floyd's part?
Maybe. He's a very smart guy.
Because it seems like most of his fights are planned way in advance. But that one was like, what? It's a couple months away.
Just sort of happened, yeah.
Yeah, was it August? Is that when the fight took place?
It was August. Yeah.
And so I remember hearing about it and thinking like, wait, August? That's fucking really close.
Right.
Like for a Mayweather fight, you would think 6 weeks or 6 months or something along those lines. But I would feel like for Floyd, as great as he is and probably the best ever in terms of boxing technique and not being hit, I mean, he's so elusive, still really wouldn't want a guy like Conor preparing for a long period of time and really getting acclimated.
Yeah. It was kind of funny how that all came about, because when he fought Eddie in November the year before, I remember shortly after that we were at a function and I kind of pulled him aside and I shook his hand and I said, right, you're done. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your life. And he was kind of shocked I was saying this to him, but I said, what else are you going to do? You're the two-weight champion. You've got out the other end of this grind, this meat grinder with no damage. You're in a very small percentage and you've made plenty of money. Often enjoy yourself. And then time went past, a couple of months went past, and then the Mayweather fight started talking. And I could understand it because now his grandkids were going to be financially secure. So it made sense because it was a big payday. Didn't really make sense for any other reason. He enjoyed the competition side of it. That's no matter what you're doing with Conor, it's going to be competition. I don't care what it is. He's going to look, well, how quick did you do that? You're like, I just went for a piss. Yeah, I'll do it quicker. He's just that way. So when him and Floyd started having a bit of a back and forth, he was like, yeah, okay, let's go into boxing and be the best boxer in the world. And for me, myself, I was on the outside going, okay, I understand what, that makes sense to do. Nothing else was really making sense at the time. It's going to be damaging. Boxing is a horrendous sport to prepare for and to compete in, because we're just looking at one thing, really, punches to the head. Of course, the body shots as well, but it's so damaging. The only justification I could see for that was, your grandkids are financially set.
Yeah, tremendous hype behind it, tremendous amount of money. Did you think he could win?
Of course, I'm always going to think that way. That's my mindset. Let's prepare as best we can. Is there options here?
When he landed that uppercut in the first round, what did you think?
Yeah, even when he went out to do that. So, we did a whole training camp and we brought in, you probably heard, we brought in Paulie Malignaggi. And that was my first time ever seeing him against a recognized boxer. Because in the gym, we had local guys.
What really happened in those sparring sessions? Because what we got to see, the clip that was released, was Conor lighting Malignaggi up. Mm-hmm. But Paulie Malignaggi insists that most of the sparring was him dominating.
That's not what I saw. When he came back from, he did a spar, he went away. It all broke because a picture got leaked, and then Paulie did a lot of interviews. He was on the East Coast working a show. So when he came back, it was coming back to have a fight. And it was a weird night in the gym because the Fertitta brothers come in, Dana come in, there was a few celebrities come in. It was a fight, and the referee was there, Joe Cortez, a great guy. And he did 12 hard rounds, and I think there is something being released on Netflix soon, a documentary based around that fight, and it will have all the rounds. So I guess
really,
yeah. I mean, we have the rounds. We have the 12 rounds, and it's, as far as I'm aware, I just actually did an interview for recently there. I think it's a 3-part documentary that's going to be on Netflix soon, and so people will get to make up their own minds about it. But just going back to the fight, so
what did you think though about the sparring?
When they walked out first, and I went to myself, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'd seen him box some amateurs back home and some pros. I'm horrendously ignorant to the boxing world. I just don't really follow it. And he was schooling those guys, and I was like, yeah, but they're not a world champion. They're not that elite level. So that night when he went into the ring with Paul, I was like, me and Owen are kind of elbow, like, what's going to happen here? Is he just going to get tooled, and then we have to scratch our heads and go, shit, what are we going to do here?
Right.
But he came back after the rounds, and me and Owen were going, wait a second. It's not magic. It's still punching, and it's range, and there's techniques. And so my confidence was growing. My confidence was growing.
So
I knew it. I knew no matter what happened, it was going to be a good fight. Right. It wasn't going to be, you go in and just, oh God, this looks terrible. He's just missing with every shot, and he's being made look silly. It was a good fight. It was entertaining. I think no one in the crowd was saying that was ridiculous. No one was saying that was a waste of money. It was an entertaining fight, and it's going to be one of those things that I'll be an older man than I am now, and I'll be talking about the time we went into the boxing world and fought Floyd. Even on the night, I was kind of just looking, scratching my, what am I doing here? That's Floyd Mayweather, and his dad over there. These are guys that, of all the boxers, I always preferred watching Floyd than anyone else because I love defense. Yes. Defense to me is the most intriguing part, and him and Tony, those type of guys, and that how he worked the Philly shell, and it's beautiful. It's so interesting to watch, and he's getting on a bit, but still able to compete so fantastic because his whole career was defensive based. He never really took the shots, never was damaged in the gym, never was damaged in fights. But when he was in the ring and they were working in the corner, in air corner, I'm just going, what the hell is Conor doing fighting Floyd Mayweather? This is just strange. Even at the beginning, I'm so used to Bruce Buffer, and it was a different guy, and he hit the bell 3 times. And I was like, oh yeah, they do that in the Rocky movies. I remember that. Ding, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. It's kind of the beginning of the ceremonial.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, they're actually going to box. Right until the end of it was still just head scratching, and then Floyd coming over at the end and giving his little compliment. He's got a hell of a shot on him. He's tough as nails, and it was a great experience. I wouldn't do anything different. If the
Paulie Malignaggi sparring session, which you said was like a fight, if it was scored as a fight, you think Conor would have won the fight?
Yeah, of course I'm going to say yes, and then people will say, well, no. Everybody who was there in the night had, asked Dana. Actually, Dana knows a lot more about boxing than I do, and all of those guys were going, okay, we have a fight in our hands here. This is going to be an interesting contest. So yeah, I'm of course going to say yeah, but I guess people will see the rounds and make up their own mind.
But it wasn't as one-sided as those clips that were released, where it's Conor just dropped it.
Of course, Paulie, he landed his shots as well. Of course, he's a brilliant boxer. For me as a trainer, it was amazing looking at him. He's put on a little bit of weight, and you still have to go 12 rounds because after about round 4, he's not going to continue here. He was breathing very heavy, and he's been hit hard, and he'd been sat down once. And whether that was a push or a punch, you guys can make up your own mind on that. But a lot of heavy shots, and I was thinking he's going to be out here by 6. So we had another sparring partner ready, and I was like, okay, just be ready to go because I think this will go about 6 rounds. And then Paulie just hit this rhythm and started landing his own shots, and it turned out to be a great contest. I'd say contest because it wasn't a spar. They were talking the whole time. Paulie was talking to me. He was talking to the cameraman. He was almost better than Conor at it. It was great to watch. Everybody had a great night, and I think they both actually bizarrely enjoyed it. It's like kind of Conor and Nate. It's Batman and the Joker. They both need each other, but they hate each other, but they love each other. It's a weird dynamic when you see a contest like that.
Well, Paulie was campaigning for a fight. He was trying to get Conor to box him.
Yeah, it's not out of the realms of possibilities.
Really?
It's absolutely not out of the realms of possibilities. There's all sorts of crazy rumors going around the managing team and the fight team and what might happen next. It could be boxing. It could be him. It could be Floyd. It could be
Floyd again.
All sorts of names are being thrown around.
Well, one thing that happened in the fight that was undeniable is that Conor started to fade.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this, the endurance issue. Like, what do you think is that issue?
Well, certainly in that fight, you could see, and what I learned about it was just brilliant to watch Floyd, how he managed his energy. I think he threw 1 punch in round 1 and maybe not much more in round 2. It was just such an amazing strategy, and then switching from the usual style to kind of just hands up and walking in, and Conor did unload a lot on his forearms, very inefficient, which is the opposite of what I would describe Conor's fighting style. He's efficient, very few shots, maximum return. This was lots of punches, and it was one of the few bits of advice I gave him in the corner that was of any use, because I'm not a boxing guy. Was, let's pick our shot. There's a reason why he's not throwing anything. You don't throw anything. This is 12 rounds. It's almost like there's 3 parts to a fight. There's 1 to 4, there's 5 to 8, and then there's 9 to 12. And Floyd just worked that beautifully, and it'd be something that we would definitely do a lot more if we were to ever get another boxing fight. It was recognise that there's 12 rounds, pace yourself. He was kind of in the MMA mode of just big shots and light the guy up, but Floyd's the best in the world at not being lit up.
Do you think it's a pacing issue and not an endurance issue, or think it's both?
But specifically for the boxing, yeah, there was a pacing and an endurance in a new field. No clinch work at all. We had a few little kind of funny clinch techniques we were going to try out.
What was the hammer fist to the back of the head? It was.
Well, he was aiming for the side of the head. It was supposed to be like that. You know, we'd play it around with little stretches of the rules, and we'd see what Joe Cortez would pull us up on, and could we do little. You know, I'm a Lomachenko fan as well, and he comes from wrestling, and you see him doing kind of what almost looked like arm drags and tie ups and stuff. So we were trying to use that, and we just got broke every time. We had very little opportunity to kind of. You know, even going towards the back and holding the hip and hitting with one hand. I couldn't find anything in the written rules that were against that, but we were pulled on it straight away. So some of the areas where we thought we'd be able to rest and maybe make Floyd use energy that he's unused to, clinch, we didn't get that. It was immediate breaks. And that's the sport of boxing. That's just how it is. So yeah, there would have to be all those type of adjustments.
One of the more fascinating rumors was that there was going to be some sort of a striking match in the octagon with MMA gloves.
That's being talked about.
That was being talked about.
Is being talked about.
It is.
Yeah, that's been going around as well.
Because I talked to Dana about that, and he said it was horseshit.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't deal with
Dana.
I'd heard about this.
Who was talking to you about it?
You know, speaking with Conor and speaking with Manuel, to talk about, like, you can only throw leg kicks. But,
Jesus.
You know, boxing with it.
That would be the end.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all it would take.
Especially
Sorry, Floyd.
The side
I hate
on.
to say that.
Yeah, the side on stance is, you know what it's like if you get a leg kick in that way. You must face straight on so you can check leg kicks.
If they allowed leg kicks and only leg kicks, no head kicks, Conor would fuck him up 100%.
Quickly.
100%.
I think it would be the first kick.
No one even understands.
It would be the first leg kick.
Yeah.
Now, I will say right away that Conor absolutely doesn't want to do that. He wants to fight UFC rules or boxing rules.
Oh,
he's zero interest in a hybrid
leg
fight.
Kicks. Just that alone. A hybrid fight, just leg kicks alone.
Yeah.
He would fuck Floyd Mayweather up. Doesn't he want to fuck Floyd Mayweather up?
He does, but within one of the two rule sets. He does.
Oh
he just
my
thinks
God! Just leg kicks. Just let him throw leg kicks. Just a few.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what fucking stance Floyd stands in either. Inside leg kicks, outside leg kicks. Just one of those. It would be like.
Yeah, we've a lot of, you know, Ireland is. We have very good boxing history and very good athletes, and we get the odd time and a good boxer will come down for a spar. And, you know, these guys can take shots all day long and one leg kick and they run. You know, it's such a pain that they've never felt before. You know, like you said, it changes everything very, very quickly.
It would change Floyd's entire game. He has no idea. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when cool Vince Phillips fought Masato in Japan?
No.
When Vince Phillips was at the top of his game, when he was, you know, a real elite boxer, he was just starting to slide. And he went over and fought Masato in K1, and Masato just fucked his legs up. Just fucked those legs up. It was horrifying to watch. The only one that I remember that went over there and actually, Shannon Cannon. Shannon the Cannon. Shannon Briggs fought Tom Erickson. And Tom Erickson cracked him with a couple of leg kicks. And Shannon actually talked about it on the podcast. He's like, champ, he hit me with a couple of those leg kicks. I was ready to quit, champ. He's like, it hurts so bad. He goes, but I'm pretending. He goes, I'm pretending it ain't nothing. He goes, I'm in agony, champ.
Yeah. It's just a different pain. It's just a stomach. You can get whacked in the head all day long, and, you know, most fighters won't even recognize that, but the right body shot, you know, you hit that liver, or the right leg kick, and there's just no gritting through it.
It's stunning. For people that have never been kicked before, it's stunning to watch. They're like, what? This happens all the time? And if you watch like a K1 match or a Glory match or a Muay Thai, it's just crazy how often they get kicked, and they just learn how to absorb it. They learn how to check it and eat it, and it just
takes time.
But that would be, if you could somehow or another talk Conor and Floyd into a boxing match with leg kicks. Did Floyd actually say that would be something he would consider?
It was just one of those, like, while I'm talking to Conor, he regularly throws stuff at me down. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, I'm always having weird conversations with him. And this was just one of them where it come up that there's a possibility of this, and they were talking about it, hybrid rules, but he shut it down straight away. You'll fight him. You'll fight him. Obviously, MMA rules would be ideal. I think Floyd, He's a very intelligent guy.
He's not going to do that.
Absolutely intelligent guy. He's not going to do that.
I don't even think he would do the leg kick.
I don't think so either. I think he flirts with a lot of this stuff, and
Yeah.
I'll come over to your world.
Yeah.
But he's no fool. He's a super smart